Hi everybody, this is Mythic here, and today I'm going to talk about some new Godzilla 2014 information. I'm 3 days late, and on this video I'm going to talk about the news for Godzilla 2014 that was released yesterday, today, and 2 days ago. Yes, in one video, so this is going to be a very long video. But first of all, we're going to talk about the Godzilla 2014 Featurette, the first official Featurette. And this was released on CBM Trailers. That's where I knew about it. And if you check my Google Plus page, 2 days ago, yes, I posted this on my Google Plus page. I posted official Godzilla 2014 Featurette number 1, now released on my Google Plus page. So if you haven't seen that, then check that post if you want. Or just check this video, of course. But yeah, and on this Featurette, it actually shows some set photos, mini interviews that are cut down and all this. And also some concept art of the movie, which is not anything too big. It's just pretty interesting. But yeah, let's check this featurette. I'll leave the link to the featurette in the description below. And it's 2 minutes long. So let's see this. Let's check this out. So first of all, we see the scene of the airplane that crashed in the middle of a traffic jam. Or if not, the airplane crashed and that created a traffic jam. One or the other.
It's crazy this scenario sounds.
As you hear, Gareth Edwards is talking. Then that's when you actually see Las Vegas in ruin, just like from many TV spots, and of course, first originated from the main trailer.
Imagine it really happened.
Then we see Gareth Edwards actually talking about that thing that he's talking about. You see his face.
Like?
Warner Brothers and Legendary.
What would happen if somebody ran in this room right
Thomas Toll is saying
now
that.
and said, "Oh my God, turn on CNN. You're not going to believe what just came up out of the bed."
And while he's saying that, you actually see some images that we already seen before, such as Elizabeth Olsen. I was about to say crying, but she's staring up in the sky while it's raining, just like from the teaser trailer, as well as the Halo jump scene for the teaser trailer. A little bit of it, and also whenever at the end of the teaser trailer where Godzilla roars through all this like cloud of smoke, that scene too. While he's saying about that, what he's saying. Anyways, next shot is the set photo. I mean, not a set photo, but it is how they're making the shots of whenever Hawaii's in ruin, just like from what we saw in the international trailer, and it is daytime. So yeah, very interesting.
The whole sensibility of.
We see Bryan Cranston talking, and then we actually see Gareth Edwards saying to Bryan Cranston and Aaron Taylor Johnson what to do on set. And it's like a Asian like place, and we already seen that before. We see Bryan Cranston, giving his thoughts about the film. Then that's when we see Bryan Cranston in this suit, in this Asian deserted place. Probably Asia, or like Asia, or if not Chinatown, those Asian places. Then we see a shot. It looks like it's Bryan Cranston and these other soldiers, possibly. And it's like a nighttime. So I'm concluding that this scene might be from the aircraft carrier scene where Godzilla is seen from far away distance, coming out of the ocean. Possibly, not really sure, but I'm concluding that. Then we actually see all these people filming a scene. Looks like it is some soldiers running, tanks, and we actually see some, missiles about to be shot. And, possibly they're being shot. Maybe this is like they're preparing for this or something. Maybe they're already immediately going to shoot already at something, possibly Godzilla. Maybe they're already expecting something to be there. I'm not really sure. I can't really conclude too much here. Very true, Bryan Cranston. Anyways, that's when you see Gareth Edwards telling possibly Aaron Taylor Johnson, for what I think, telling him what to do on the set again. Next shot is the people taking camera of Aaron Taylor Johnson. Looks like he's in this position where he's like kind of off guard, or he's in guard, and he has his gun ready, and then in the background you can see all this demolished city. So not really sure. Possibly this is the scene where we see the Muto larva thingamajig, the Muto tentacles, everybody calls it, even though it's not a tentacle, because Gareth Edwards already confirmed that that's not a tentacle. But from the main trailer, you see this like cocoon thing or something. I don't know what it is. It has little orange dots all over the place, and the scene really looks similar to that. So possibly that scene. I'm not really sure. I can't conclude too much on what it is.
do the whole thing, take it.
Then we actually see Gareth Edwards telling Ken Watanabe what to do. In the background, you can see the demolished city. You know, we see some pipes there, and you know, right and left. Is that a little train? Not really sure. And some rocks. You know, all this. It's demolished.
Really seriously intrusive area.
Then we see Juliette Binoche preparing to do her scene, which is the Gingira incident thing. Next scene, I'm not sure this is like set or something. I think this might be from the movie, but you see it's like Hawaii. Everybody is dining. There's a helicopter flying overhead, and all the people are watching at the helicopter, and the Hilton Bridge in the background. Then you see Jim Rigiel, which is the VFX supervisor. Not exactly sure who he is exactly. You know, I never heard of him. Anyways, next shots. Sorry guys. Okay, anyways. Then we actually see the concept art now. Yes, we see the concept art. And most likely you already seen it right now. And we actually see, you see Godzilla spikes. And it looks like he's, you know, ripping this building. And, you know, you see Godzilla spikes, most of his torso area, a little bit of his neck, near the bottom jaw, but you can't really see his face at all. It just, you see his giant spikes around, you know, this building. And then you see some helicopters shooting, like, all these guns at him and all this stuff. Next scene is some soldiers. It's a green screen in the background. They're also filming, and it looks like it's right here. It is Chinatown, most likely, I think. I can't really tell, but it's some soldiers. Possibly this is where Aaron Taylor Johnson is at too, and they're running through the street. And you actually see in some corners they actually place some rocks with fire. So probably that's kind of like the effect that there's like smoke all over the place. Possibly, you know, not really sure. But you see a green screen in the background, so maybe Godzilla can be there. I don't know. But you know, the city is completely destroyed also. Angela Johnson talking about that, and in the background you actually see the big airplane that lets Angela Johnson and the other soldiers halo jump from what we saw in other, you know, screenshots and scenes and all that stuff. Then we see Angela Johnson in this forest landscape. I think they're filming also. Next shot is, you know, filming of the Hilton Bridge. I mean, not Hilton Bridge, the Hilton building. Possibly this is where they modify the CGI a little bit, and then that's when they add all the destruction. Possibly, you know, not really sure.
In an environment where you feel.
We see Angela Johnson again in this forest-like landscape. There's some chairs. Possibly this might be a beach in Hawaii. You know, not really sure. It's very cloudy, and it looks like his face is all dirty as well as his like suit itself. Yeah.
So you have that quality.
And I think the way
Next, you see not Angela Johnson, Gareth Edwards filming a scene where you see this kid like looking at something at the same time, as well as some soldiers and some other citizens in the background. Not really sure what this is.
terrifying
Next scene is Elizabeth Olsen talking about her thoughts about the film.
to show these images in a monster film.
Next scene is they're filming the scene where there's people running through all this barrage of, you know, traffic in a rainy place.
Way, but that are images that we
Next scene is it looks like they're ready to film a part of a citizen who was injured in Hawaii.
know.
Next scene is that they're filming a scene with Aaron Taylor Johnson. Looks like he has a cast, possibly, and he's carrying his son. Now you see the final version of the scene of, you know, Hawaiian ruins. You know, just like from the international trailer, we already seen this.
Scale that we probably never quite seen before.
Now we see the scene with the skeleton in this cave.
I've seen a couple little pieces
Then Statue of Liberty from Las Vegas wrecked.
put together, and it's really.
And we're about to hear what Bryan Cranston thinks about it. He says that, you know, there's some scenes that he's seen. There's some scenes that he's seen that they're put together, and he thinks that. And then we saw these clips, you know, trying to, you know, be like, oh, what is he gonna say? You know, stay tuned or whatever. Then we see a shot right here from the teaser trailer where these like people are entering this room. I don't know what it is. Next shot is these not flashlights, but these lights are like highlighting this aircraft carrier, while Godzilla's actually coming from the ocean. Godzilla's coming from the ocean, and then it creates this giant tsunami, and everybody gets, drowns. We already seen this, and then we finally see what he thinks about it.
It's really gonna be good.
He said it's really gonna be good. So if that man, the one from Malcolm in the Middle, Breaking Bad, and other events that he's been thinks gonna be good, then for us it's gonna be amazing. So then that's when, the commentary already ended. Now we just see shots from, from what we see in like TV spots and international trailers, whatever. So we see the Halo jump scene. Then we see the PowerPoints of the Godzilla picture in the PowerPoint, and Sarasawa looking at it. The airport scene, explosion. Bryan Cranston running through the hallway. All this like military equipment entering this like cave. Hiding something out there. Sarasawa looking through this like hole in the cave. That's what she said. Then that's when you see the train being ripped in half. Aaron Johnson jumping from this train track. We see the scene from the main trailer where this soldier removes this white goop or this white material from this like military equipment, looks like, with a radioactive sign. And then that's when we see the train. You see some soldiers going on this train, and you see explosion in the background. Bryan Cranston crying, as well as, Juliette Binoche, being trapped in that little room or whatever. Then we see the skeleton in the cage again. I mean, not in the cage, in the cave, I meant to say. Godzilla's tail seen behind a building. Bryan Cranston yelling out, it's going to send us back to the Stone Age. Oh my god. Okay, anyways, helicopters, not helicopters, jets falling from the sky. Elizabeth Olsen hugging her son. All this barrage of footage. Then finally we see Godzilla roaring, just like from the main trailer. But yeah, that was just one news. Now, time for the next one. Yes, this was only one. Next one. The next shot, we actually got this screenshot. Not exactly sure where this, I first saw this, but I'll leave in the link below. But it's actually a screenshot of Godzilla. It looks very amazing. Looks like he's walking, like, next to the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, possibly. And you see some people, looking at him. You see most of Godzilla's body, like, from head all the way to torso. And, some people think it's fake. Other people think it's real. Now, for me, it looks real and fake at the same time. This could easily be photoshopped. And why is Godzilla not doing any damage at all? Because the Golden Gate Bridge should be demolished by now. And the bridge is like this white-like color. And the Golden Gate Bridge is actually red, not white. And also, the background. The background in the main trailers and all these TV spots and all this from the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge destruction shows that it is cloudy. This scene shows it's kind of sunny. So, not really, fond about that. That makes me conclude that this could possibly indeed be fake, this screenshot, supposedly screenshot. The reason why it could be real, and also another thing that makes it fake, is because the proportions are very wrong. You see a human, like 3 humans next to it, and it's about Godzilla's hand. That's small. Like, this is the biggest Godzilla ever. So, yeah, that actually makes me conclude, now that I revise all the things that make me think it's fake, I actually think this is completely fake. That picture, I actually think the picture you're looking at right now is completely fake. Now the next thing, this is official. Fangoria, I think it's called Fangoria magazine, has actually released an issue of Godzilla 2014. Yes, very awesome. It's a sci-fi magazine from what I heard. And they actually showed a screenshot of Godzilla. You couldn't really tell what it is because you see all Fangoria letters, and then you see all these little taglines and all that stuff. But they finally actually released a screenshot of Godzilla without the Fangoria signs and all that stuff. And this concludes that he is actually, this is in the same, area, or the same area as whenever in the Nature Has an Order TV spot where he roars up in the sky, at the end. So possibly this is either before Godzilla does his roar in the sky from the Nature Has an Order, or if not, it is a concept kind of, because Godzilla's face looks kind of weird. It looks out of proportion. Looks kind of weird. It looks like he's emotionless, and that he just doesn't have an attitude in his face. It looks pretty weird. So possibly, and also the buildings look a little bit different as well as the skin texture. Skin texture and the Fangoria thingamajigger. Sorry if I call it thingamajigger, but it's literally a thingamajigger. Anyways, the Fangoria screenshot thing, it looks like Godzilla has this grayish-like skin. And then on the Nature Has an Order, you actually see he has a little bit of a bluish-like skin. So this can possibly mean that this was like concepts, or if not not the CGI wasn't ready yet. It was just kind of like, the midway of the CGI. Okay, next thing. Yes, that's the third news. Now, near the end of this video. I bet it's super long by now. Next thing. This is from GodzillaMovies.com, so this can just be another troll. But somebody by the name of Danzilla93 says that he actually went to Barnes & Noble and checked, Barnes & Noble, yeah. And he wanted to check if the sci-fi magazine, the Fangoria magazine, was there. And he actually found it, and, I'll just read what it says right here. This is what Danzilla93 posted. I'll leave the link to this as well as two other screenshots that I mentioned. He said, "Howdy, folks. Get this. I went to Barnes & Noble today looking for that epic Fangoria with Godzilla on the cover. And while I didn't find that, I looked through all the other magazines, found Sci-Fi Magazine, which had two-page story on Godzilla entitled A Force of Nature. I'll post some images. Please excuse the quality of the article soon so you can read it for yourself, because while most of what stuff we've heard, let me repeat that again. That was very confusing. While most of it was stuff we've heard, I did spot something interesting I haven't seen anywhere else." So I guess this is spoilers, kind of. I won't really count it as spoilers. I don't think it's very, big major spoilers, but I guess I'll just say spoilers. Anyways, apparently, the character of Joe Brody will feature in all three major years/eras in the film, meaning he'll be present in the 1954 opening of the film. Here's a quote from Bryan Cranston. Quote unquote, "It's a very linear story, starting in 1954 when my character is a little boy and this eruption happens, and that follows by another big situation that catapults the story to 1999 and then to present day in 2014. So this could tell us that Bryan Cranston is going to be in all eras of this film. 1954, 1999, as well as the present day, which is 2014. It's not going to be 2013. It's not going to be 2025 or something for Pacific Rim. It's going to be 2014, present day. But yeah, that's actually very interesting, very cool. Then he says, "So that's big. Apparently, Joe's a part of Godzilla's entire 60-year history, but just what he witnesses in 1954, if anything, is still a big question. But it's still a significant revelation. What do y'all think?" Yeah, very interesting. Now we get into more spoilers. Possibly another troll. This one from GodzillaMovies.com as well. Possibly another troll. So let's check this out, because I actually haven't read it. I just read where it says spoiler warning, spoiler warning, spoiler warning. That's all I read. So I cannot tell you guys right now if this is just another troll that's faking it and all this stuff, or if this is actually indeed real. And actually scroll all the way down the page, and he said he had a link, and I did not click the link yet. So I'll check how that is. Come on, make this be real, because so far I just read spoiler warnings, but if the story sounds awesome and epic, then of course I will count it as, real, or I'll just say that it sounds epic, but, I need a source. Anyways, this thing is just loading, 50,000 years. Yeah, this computer always takes so long. Okay. But, okay, let me try and remember if there is something else. Oh, yeah, also there was a new poster. I forgot to make a video about that on my Japanese trailer thing. And also some international TV spots, too. I won't get too much into detail. Just type in international TV spot number 4 or something. It's just technically a mini version of the Japanese trailer, technically. And then there was this new IMAX posters, for the IMAX 3D poster competition. If you did not know that, then it looks like you have been living under a rock, I guess, if you haven't know that. But yeah, I don't think all ages are permitted, maybe 18 years or older or something, so I can join. But yeah, somebody actually drew a poster and it made it to the IMAX 3. It actually won, and now it's the IMAX 3D poster. It is technically Godzilla ravaging through the city, but like Godzilla his skin texture is like this red like color. And it looks like in the background you can actually see the Japanese flag. You can tell it's a Japanese flag. So, very, very awesome. But yeah, okay, finally, is this thing finally loaded? Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, anyways. Let's continue. Whew, I don't know how long this video is so far, but, I bet you guys will know once I edit this video. Anyways, it says, warning, insane spoilers, basic outline of Godzilla's story. Okay, that's the title. Okay, this was posted by Godzillasaurus Rex. Let's see, this is just a troll. Warning, major spoilers ahead. Yes, I read this. Now let's go into the thing. So, I guess major spoilers, just in case this is real, or maybe this might just be a random troll. Anyway, just massive spoilers, and right here it's insane spoilers. That means it should be like a bunch of spoilers. So, I guess insane spoilers. Anyways, now let's continue. Godzilla unfolds across multiple continents, and spans several decades, tracing the impact of a series of mysterious and catastrophic events through the eyes of a handful of people caught at the epicenter. Our film doesn't tell the story from the omnipotent perspective. To explain, which is the producer of the film. In the midst of the crisis are people whose lives are irrevocably changed. Hopefully I even pronounced that right. Changed by it. These aren't superheroes, but regular human beings caught in extreme circumstances, which made casting such a vital component of our film. Okay, in this spirit, Edwards wanted to populate the film with actors who could deliver a level of performance that brought true to the characters' extraordinary journeys. In a film like this, you get one by, which is that there are giant monsters in the world, he says. The rest has to be as believable as possible, which is one reason I feel incredibly lucky with this cast. They were able to take what was on the page, bring it to life, and create an emotional reality that helps you believe everything else. Whew, I cannot wait. It's only like 2 more weeks or something. Wow. Anyways. For the cast, the combination of cinematic icon and Gareth Edwards' vision for his epic rebirth made Godzilla an irresistible prospect. When Gareth and I first talked about the film, he told me to forget that it was a big monster movie, recalled Aaron Taylor Johnson. I loved what Godzilla meant to him, and that he wanted to bring him to the screen in a big disaster spectacle. But to tell the story with a high level of artistry and emotion, that's what made me want to do this project. And Gareth made the experience incredibly special. The actor takes on the central role of Ford Brody, a naval officer specializing in disarming bombs. That's interesting. Who has just reunited with his wife and young son in San Francisco when he is called away to help his troubled father in Japan. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this means that Japan is going to be in the film, but Joe Brody is going to live in Japan. So I guess divorce, kind of. Not divorce, but it looks like their dad and the son are not together. And they live in San Francisco while Joe Brody lives in Japan because Janjiro incidents? No, not Janjiro incident, because on that time, he's a kid. So not Janjiro incidents. I don't think so. But yeah, possibly that's. So it looks like he does live in Japan, which is very interesting. It looks like, he's been through his naval history and all this stuff. He's been in the Navy, but then he went back to his family. That's when he gets an emergency call from his dad in Japan. Anyways, where am I at? Okay. Ford is a hero of our film and sees a lot of action, Edwards comments. And because so much of the storytelling is visual, it was critical that we understand what he's thinking and feeling, so we needed an actor capable of communicating a lot in a single look. I'd seen Nowhere Boy, in which Aaron played John Lennon, and it was such a soulful performance. There was so much intensity and emotion behind his eyes. I knew from that moment we'll find the guy. Ford's expertise at disarming bombs draws him to the front lines of humanity united defense against the greatest threat it has ever faced. But he is torn between duty and the need to find and protect his young family. He's the kind of specialist the military needs, and it's all hands on the deck, Taylor Johnson explains. At the same time, his mission is to get back to his family, and his work in the military becomes the only way he can maneuver himself closer to San Francisco. But it's heartbreaking because he knows he might not make it home at all. So, we really get this emotional feeling here. Trapped in the city when Godzilla zeroes in on San Francisco is Ford's wife, Ellie Brody, played by Elizabeth Olsen, a nurse at a busy hospital. Ellie is forced to make tough choices to both cope with the human toll of disaster and to protect their 4-year-old son, Sam. My God, that's young. Played by newcomer Carson Boldy. And who cares about kids? Anyways, Ellie's story is heroic in that she has a job to do, but she is also desperate to protect her own child. Olsen details, adding their story and Ford's journey to try to get back to them is part of what I love about this film. How the value of family is at its core, and how moments of crisis bring out the courage and heroism that lies within everyone. Both Edwards, her feel for the emotional material. Where am I at again? Okay. Made her reviving to watch in the role. Elizabeth has this documentary style to her performance. It just doesn't feel like acting at all. With her, it was like doing some serious drama that just happened to have a giant monster in it. Olsen got her first taste of the level of realism Edwards wanted to bring to the film when she first saw the evocative teaser piece he made. So it looks like the cast was already made in 2012, but it got released in 2013. Okay. Where is it at? Gareth's approach to it was hooked. Wait. Okay, let me repeat that again. Gareth's approach to it is what hooked me, and how it reflected some of the imagery of disasters we've seen around the world. She notes what Ellie deals with within this film taps into what it's like for the people caught in these kind of events and the lengths you go in order to save the ones you love. This same impulse drives Ford throughout his journey, and Taylor Johnson admits that even amid the film's tremendous action, the physical, sorry if you hear that, that's my stupid dog, demands of the role were trimmed by the emotional challenges his character faces. Ford is really put through the ringers over the course of the film, both internally and externally. He says, when we meet him, he's a husband, father, and son, and is trying to do all those things currently under the weight of some serious emotional baggage. He has unresolved issues with his father, and his effort to try to mend their relationship places him far from home when his family most needs him. Ford carries with him the weight of an incident from his childhood that tore his family apart 15 years earlier, when he lived with his parents in Japan. So it looks like he did live with his parents in Japan, but now he's in San Francisco. Anyways, but the events leading up to the fateful day in 1999 originate farther south in the Philippines, where the film begins. So this film begins in the Philippines. That's actually very interesting. That's interesting. A remote mine in the Philippine jungle collapses, revealing beneath it the fossilized, highly radioactive remains of something very big and very cold. A pair of scientists from a secretive government organization, Dr. Ishiro Sarazawa and Vivian Graham, arrive on the site to examine this bizarre relic. That sounds like a little bit of the leaked script, a tiny bit, not too much, just a little bit. But it looks like Ishiro Sarazawa and Vivian Graham, which is Ken Watanabe, and Sally Hawkins. They're part of the secret organization, and this all happens in Philippines. And possibly they go to this cave, and that's when they find the giant skeleton in the cave. Possibly. And it was Ken Watanabe. Ken Watanabe plays Serizawa, a Japanese scientist who has devoted his life to search for Godzilla and hopes to find in the cave evidence of the mythical creature's existence. His quest goes deeper than scientific curiosity, Watanabe exclaims. He is concerned about the kind of terror that could exist in the world and has his own theories about what he calls the alpha predator and the role it plays on the planet. In the film, Godzilla's origins are linked to an alternate take on recent history, a dark legacy that haunts Serizawa, who is both named for and inspired by a key character in the original Japanese film. Dr. Serizawa is the scientist with the deepest insight into the creature, and Kim brought so much complexity and depth of feeling to this character. Edward says, he used to joke when we were filming that no one got more different looks than Ken. He is such a fantastic actor to watch because you can see all the internal thoughts on his face. When we were shooting, he would always do another look or take a breath or go to leave the room, and you're saying, oh no, don't stop. The takes would just go on because you would never want to yell cut. Watanabe responds to Edward's desire to draw upon the thematic threads of the original within the context of the contemporary worlds. I feel that Japan and really the entire world are facing similar challenges today as we were at the time when the first film was made. Watanabe exclaims. Reflex, I meant to say. Godzilla cannot be separated from the nuclear element and serves as the urgent reminder that we have to look to the future and think about what kind of world we want to have. Yes, 1998's Zilla. That was not reflected in the film at all. So, when I read the script, I was impressed that Garrett's film maintains Godzilla's connection to the consequences of trying to harness forces we barely understand. Sally Hawkins, who plays Serizawa's colleague, Dr. Graham, okay, so it's a colleague of Serizawa, adds that Edward's passion for the project illuminated every creative decision on the set. He has so much else to contend with, but really showed care towards the actors in the story, always emphasizing the need to keep the heart and truth in it. With all her scenes done in the partnership with Watanabe, the two formed an immediate connection. Graham and Serizawa are on this journey together because it is both their life's works, Hawkins shares. When we meet them, you see that they're most telepathic in how they communicate, and I think Ken brilliant. He got such a presence, and working with him to convey the relationship was a real pleasure. Okay, now this thing is super long, so I read most of it. Actually, not even most of it. But yeah, this is a very long video. I bet like 40 minutes or something. But I'm gonna stop it here. So yeah, this is part 1, I guess. So there will be 2 parts where I read the rest of the article. So, on the next video, definitely check this video first. But anyways, I'll leave the link to all of this in the description below. And you can read this ginormous article right here. But anyways, and for this video, subscribe, like, and comment. This is Samantha Kaiju signing out.